Hello and welcome back to Factorio. We're in Exotic Industries, and at the moment I'm chasing bottlenecks for module production. So the bottleneck we're hitting at the moment is blue chips, but the reason for that bottleneck isn't actually blue chip production. It's that they use silicon wafers, and our silicon wafer production sucks. So yeah, silicon wafers are a fairly basic item, and they're used in a lot of places. So I think it's time to start trying to think about how to improve this. So I started sketching something out, and then realised that I should be recording. So here we are. So I've done another factory planner thing, and I was starting to look at what kind of build we would need to support a yellow belt of wafers. Yeah, and this is what I have so far. There's just one more thing I want to check before I implement it. So let's just double check. This produces faulty semiconductor wafers as a byproduct, and one thing you can do to these is crush them down to sand and reuse them. So, but it only makes 189 sand, which to be honest is irrelevant compared to the amount of sand we're using. Yeah, so I'm not going down that route. Okay, I was considering whether I should just fold it back in, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just turn it into landfill. All right, so there's this setup here, which let's just right align those. So this makes crushed sand, and if it was fully working, it would make 5.6k of crushed sand, and I've got a feeling that is way more than a belt. Also, it may be well more than I can actually move with an inserter. So I think it's time for me to request in stack inserters. I think we've reached that point in the game when I am using stack inserters often enough. Okay, there we go. And we've got some damage happening. Okay, not a big problem. I'm researching artillery shell range 7, and actually this is probably a... Alright, let's just get rid of this upgrade planner entirely. This is probably a good time to insert not prod 6s, prod 6. Oh, quantum research computer? No. I want the lab. Where are labs? Is it quantum research computers? That doesn't seem quite right to me somehow. Do I have any prod mods on me? No, I don't. Alright. I want to go and do this by hand because I really do want our research to be as efficient as we can make it. So let's head down here. Here's prod mods. 23 seems like a number, doesn't it? Alright. And we should have 2 labs running currently. Yeah. Okay, so this is an advanced lab. So I should be able to take these and let's do a before and after. So before, we were running at 122.5 for one input. So then let's... Okay. And this now 38, but we can upgrade the speed beacons. There we go. So they should get upgraded, and then this should be very much more efficient. It is nice that it's running though. I'm pleased. And this is running. Yeah, we seem to have I don't know what I've done in the meantime, but we seem to have solved the research bottleneck. All right, upgrade those. So that's our 2 sets of labs. I am planning to go to 1,000 for science, but that's a future goal, a stretch goal. Let's call it a stretch goal. All right. So this is our first build, and I want to take this bit. Good. So this is all spread out as far away as I can get it while everything is still hit by all the beacons. So this is our build footprint. Okay, so these should all have speed modules in. That's it. It's a profligate use of speed modules, speed beaconing, gravel. I don't know, because we use 12 miners. If I didn't have 2 speed modules in each and I only had 1, I'd need 12.8. So that's only one other module. And if we had 0, 14. So that's actually... Let's just double check I haven't done something wrong there. So we'd only need 14 miners if we had no speed modules in them. Okay, so the speed modules didn't do much. Okay, so... That's 14, isn't it? We need 16 in total. That's 15. That would be 16. Okay. So that perhaps is our option. Let's take all these away. The modules are so expensive that I don't want to use them unless there's a good reason. The only reason I would now remake this is if we discovered that for some reason we couldn't move the materials. Okay, so that can just be fed straight in. That can be fed straight in. So that is 4, 8, 12, 16. And we need 15 according to this. So that is sufficient. Good. So then the issue is, what do we do about output? So one of these, let's do it transport belts. It's not powered up, so we don't know how fast it's actually going to go. There we go. We don't have the full modules yet. Okay, so 5.6k of sand. I've got a feeling that that is 2 blue belts. It's just over 2 blue belts. Okay. Can I alter the units of belts? Preferences, purple belt. Okay. So it's 1 purple belt of sand. That seems more like an option, doesn't it? Okay. I'm not quite sure where we would route this purple belt. Or we could do 2 blue belts. Alright. So this is easy to get out for those. I need to get the sand out for these 2 as well. Let's request in some blue loaders. starting to make the transition to blue belt, aren't I? As we do these serious builds. And I'm going to need some actual belt. And I'm going to need some splitters, which are here. Okay. So we can just do a loader onto this. The issue is this one. I think we can do this actually. We will... Where's my loaders? Yeah, here we are. Alright, so that's our first module. That is the crushed stone. So I can now take this, put it there. Good. Then these can... Before I do it, let's put in the filter. So I'm going to filter the crushed stone. Sand, sorry. So that is the crushed stone. I can flip which side of is the active belt, you know, obviously. Right. That can go away. That can go there. And then this appears to all be miswired. So there we are. Okay, and this is miswired also. Good. And then let's undo this because it's going to cause problems later. All right. So back to the factory planner. We are belting in the sand. Then we need 3 advanced crushers for gold. And 10 wafer machines. Okay, so we can do 5 and 5. I think if we do 4 gold crushers, it's more than we need, but it does solve the problem. So then these need to input ungodly quantities of sand, which for now I'm going to do with a stack inserter. I'm just checking to see if these are within build. They're not. Okay. How not within build are they? So, all of these are within build, but the gold is not. I wonder how many gold machines we would need if we did not have beacon coverage. I mean, we're wasting a lot of... Yeah. Okay. So we're wasting a lot of beaconage by... I can move this out further. Is that still in range? Yes, it is. Which means I can move this in. All right. So we would have that, and then we'd have 2 of the arms feeding the middle one. Is that correct? Yep. And then we'll do the mirror here. Okay, so that should work for the gold. And what does it need as inputs? It just needs the gold, the sand, and the hydrofluoric acid. So that's all pretty good, isn't it? Okay, so let's take that and flip. All right. And let's see if we can arrange these so that we can... Okay, the other thing is to use the old style builds where we go out to a fluid bar. That works, doesn't it? Good. Then let's just double check everything is still... Yeah, everything's still in range. So these need... Okay, so that is the crushed sand. Good. This needs gold. I think I might bring that down from the top because the bottom half is going to be quite congested. If I take the whole of this and I flip. Okay, take the whole of that without the compressor. Ah, can't flip wafer factories. Okay, that's just rude. Is that correct? Okay, and then take all of this and you can flip this. Okay. Let's check these are all in. Yep, those are all in range. That works. Let's put down a marker that this is wafers. Where are they? Good. I just want to check that nothing here could have had... Ah, these could have had productivity modules. Right, let's have a look. So... Let's make a copy of the factory quickly. It's not that these things are particularly expensive, but sometimes if you add prod mods, you actually improve the output. Okay, so let's delete that and have the wafer machines instead have prod mods. Okay, so this takes it up to 11. The boolean is now... Have I broken something? What's happened here? Okay, so it's... something's wrong since I put the prod mods in. I'm not sure. It reduces the number of miners we need for sand down to 12 from 14. It increases the number of wafer factories we need up to 12, and it changes the gold bullion from 0.4 to 0.3, and gold is cheap. So, all right, we're going to stick with this build with the speed modules. There we go. Okay, so we'll stick with this build. And I'm guessing we can't put productivity modules in. No. Okay. We now need to wire the remaining ingredients. So the first thing is, let's have an output. And I'm doing it with red belt on purpose. I know red belt is not necessary because we're producing one yellow. We're actually producing half a yellow belt, aren't we? But we did decide that from now on we're using red rather than yellow. Okay. So that. This one we're going to have to adjust up a tile. That one is going to have to be adjusted down a tile. And that. Now this is not going to work very well because it produces, I think, one belt of no, actually that should be fine. Because we're scaled to a single yellow belt of total output of good wafers for the entire build. So that's half a yellow belt of good wafers for the half build. And so that's 1/4 of a red belt. So we are fine. We're absolutely fine. I'm panicking about nothing. Okay. So then let's take basically this without pipes. There. Okay, and then the eagle-eyed among you will know that we are producing some broken wafers. So let's filter those out. In fact, let's just filter the good wafers. There. Good. Then I want an assembling machine. And we are just going to force feed. No, it's not an assembly machine, it's a crusher. So let's take a crusher. So this is going to make sand from faulty wafers. Then we are going to get an assembler. We are going to make landfill from sand. And we are going to dump the landfill into a container. And it's going to be a medium-sized container. I'm pretty sure we have some of those over here doing the same job. Yeah, there we are. Okay, and then I guess we need to bring power up here. Then one last thing is we need to supply the gold. Now, where's the best place to bring the gold in? As I said, I think we'll bring the gold in from the top. Okay, so this is gold ingots. I need 2 belts. That's the simplest possible thing, isn't it? It's not very tidy. That. That. Okay. Can I take this part and put it there? Yes, I can. There's not room for an inserter, though. What I can do is that. Okay, that's kind of ugly, but I think it will do the job. Then I think I can take a copy of all these arms, flip them, and if the gods are smiling, this should work. Okay, so sand is happening. These have the sand, so then I just need to add trucks for the gold bullion, and then I need to add a truck for the nitrogen, which I think, sorry, nitric acid. Is nitric acid under here? Yeah, for absolutely no reason I understand. Okay, and then we need to bridge these two fluid networks. That's not going to work very nicely. Can we do it over the top? Yeah, that's fine. So let's put a truck in here. And it's still building out with modules and things, but this should make one yellow belt's worth of wafers. Now here's a build which uses wafers. So 0.067 of a transport belt of wafers. So you see how we're producing just a ton of wafers compared to even the green circuit build. And then if we run over, does this use wafers? Yes. So if this was using wafers at full speed, it would be using 0.087 of oh, I'm using the wrong, measuring this in the wrong, no, this is the right belt. So it's not even a tenth of a belt for this whole build. And you can see wafers are a problem, right? Alright, so let's hope this wafer build starts up. What are we waiting on? We've got the gold. We don't have the crushed gold. Okay, what's the problem here? Okay, we have the crushed gold. Do we have the crushed gold all the way around? If we made a mistake in one place, it's likely we may have made it in another. No, so that's the crushed gold. So all we're waiting now is... Oh, it's hydrofluoric acid. Okay. Not nitric. Where did we request that in? Okay, this is the wrong stuff. Hydrofluoric. Okay, that's going to have made a truck somewhere very unhappy. I think if you delete them mid-flow, they just disappear off the map and anything they're carrying goes poof. I may be wrong about that. There may be some magic to return to sender, but I'm not aware of any. If this was running now, though, without the extra modules, this would already be producing 0.17, which would be enough, I think, to run all the wafers in the factory. So even before it gets upgraded. But I do want to see it running before we do anything else. All right, what's the next job? So do we have any tasks? No, we don't. There's the other payload satellites, but that's something for when we are building our satellite factory. But I'm going to believe this works when I see it work. I've been bitten too many times by making a build, thinking it's wonderful, walking away, coming back in 4 hours and finding out that I missed an inserter or dialed in the wrong fluid or made some other stupid mistake. Okay, is this running? It is indeed running. We can uncap this, because we want all the wafers. Already something's come to get the wafers. So it got up to 13. Sorry, 30. Got up to 30. Let's see if it gets past 30. Yes, it's got past 30. So there's a possibility we are now in net positive. So that got up to 50. What I'm going to do is look at the production stats. I normally don't bother doing this, but for 10 minutes we are going to look at okay. So we've more than doubled our wafer production up to 560 from, well, not doubled, from 320 to 570. Yeah, just by putting down the build, and we so far haven't got all the modules in to speed it up. So I'm calling that a win. How many wafer factories do we have on the map? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have 5 legacy wafer factories and this one new one. And the one new one has not quite doubled our output. And it doesn't have all its modules yet. So I'm calling that a win. I'm going to let this run for a while because this is going to increase our circuit production, and our increased circuit production is going to give us more modules. And more modules mean we can go make another module build, which is very exciting. This has done 35 products, which I think is a good number. And let's just, for comparison, whoops, I've walked into a build. In comparison, this has done 26 in the whole time it's been running. Alright, so what I'm going to do is basically get rid of this. I'm going to turn me off. Let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of that. Because our new build, even though it's starved, is still running better. We're going to leave this for now. This has made a total of 47 prod mods, which is pretty good. But I want to make sure all the prod mods come from here from now on, because I think this is definitely the way forward. Yeah, it's definitely the blue chips which are the bottleneck now. That can go. And actually this can go, because we no longer need these containment things. Ooh. That's rather bad. These were set to the wrong thing, so we've been making these with wild abandon. Never mind, we'll find a use for them, I am sure. At some point I'll just pick them all up and dump them in by hand, I guess. But there we are. I'm pretty pleased with that. This is a nice sort of 2-module build. So I guess we'll find some spaces where this will fit and we'll make some more of these. I'm going to leave it here because I've started talking rubbish. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again next time when we will have loads of shiny tier 6 speed modules. Goodbye.